we got a clip from Boehner on Meet the Press that's a great example of this. Listen to this guy make a fool of himself. Understand how disingenuous this is. It's clip number 6, guys. Let's listen to that.
You don't want government in charge of health care, and yet you're a supporter of the idea of portable health insurance, the ability to take health insurance across state lines. But I thought the Republicans were states' rights guys and didn't want, because you'd have to have some kind of federal regulatory agency to monitor that kind of portability, wouldn't you?
No, you wouldn't have to.
Really?
What we're saying is the American people ought to buy health insurance across state lines. They ought to buy health insurance where they get the policy that they need for themselves and their family at the best price.
And there wouldn't have to be some sort of federal regulatory system.
Well, no, that's the whole
that.
point. The president said, well, I'm for that, but, you know, there has to be some bureaucrat here in Washington that needs to make sure that this is done fairly. The American people are smart enough to do this on their own.
You understand what he just said? He said we should have no regulations of the insurance industry. So that whole thing about buying across state lines, which I originally supported, because, again, I'm a naive fool, and every once in a while I give the Republicans credit for what I think is a decent idea. I'm open-minded on every single. I look at it, I go, oh well, that, you know, that's interesting. That might help in some ways. It turns out, of course, it was a scam. It's not that they want more competition, which would be the positive side of being able to buy across state lines. It's that they want to destroy regulation. So we told you this before. What they do, what this would allow the insurance companies to do, is to set up in the least regulated state. So they're not, so, you know, if they want to abuse you on pre-existing conditions, rescission, whatever it might be, right, and they want to deny you coverage, they set up in a state that says, yeah, I'll let you do all that as long as you give me a small piece of the action, right? So when Boehner was asked about it, he said, no, there should be no regulation. The American people are smart enough to figure it out on their own. Every time, man, I see stuff like that and I think, those teabaggers, God, oh, God, how stupid you are. World's biggest fools. All right. Now, again, you know, I keep going back to this example because it's such a good example. Before I leave that, let me just say to everybody so you're 1,000,000% clear on it. If you don't have any regulations in this whole unfettered free market, first of all, the unfettered free market just took a dump on our economy. The worldwide economy nearly destroyed it, right? But it's like any game. You need a ref. If you don't have a ref, you're going to have anarchy. And the Republicans keep saying, pull the ref, pull the ref. Now, in the Super Bowl, what do you think would happen to Peyton Manning and Drew Brees if they played without any refs? My guess is they'd last 2 plays until they were fucking beheaded. You need refs to have a game. And the Republicans keep telling you right there brazenly, open on Meet the Press. No refs needed. American people are smart enough to figure out when Peyton Manning's lost his head. And they're smart enough to figure out that Drew Brees' both legs have been broken by the defense.